I would see all these ads like, oh, this success story, I'm an overnight millionaire. Fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
What
Absolutely.
do you mean?
Welcome back to another episode of Defiant Talk. It's your host here, Sid, and my co-host, Jamie.
And we've got Rita today. Rita, I'm so pumped to actually have this chat with you. It's been a long time coming. I've been watching your success over the last few years, and it's great to have you in today.
Thank you. Thanks. I love that you're so pumped to have me here.
We should have had a bit of food on the table for this one.
Yeah. Next time,
Thank
for sure.
you. Take note.
So, Rita, tell us a little bit about your early life and your career. Were you always interested in food growing up?
I think I was born loving food. Yes, that made sense. I was born loving food. But that wasn't my initial career. I've had many careers. And it just, I personally just transitioned into this role. Mm-hmm. Did you want to know what career?
Well, yeah, I guess,
what career I've done?
Let's just let's take it back. Like, where did it all start for you? Because obviously now, for those who might not know Rita, you have LickYourPhone, which is a massive platform for food blogging, food media. You can explain
porn.
it. Food porn, yeah, you can explain it way better than us. But yeah, kind of take us back to where you started and sort of how you got to today. What brought out the entrepreneurial spirit in you?
Okay.
Yeah.
I had an inkling even at the age of 14. I simply went out to the local shopping centre. I had a shitty resume saying that I worked for my dad. I wanted to get a job. I just wanted to work. It was within me. So I got a role in hairdressing, and that's what I did when I was in school. However, by the time I started my apprenticeship, I had a little bit of time to get a full-time role, and I received a phone call at my mother's house saying, hey, would you like to buy a Telstra product? And I said, hey, how'd you get your job? And he goes, I'm in Perth, but I think there's one in Sydney. And it happened to be up the road in Chatswood. So I worked there full time and it was awesome. I was like, wow, it was a commission-only role. It was sales role, selling Telsco. So I was one of those annoying people. Hey, you want to buy? And I started my career in hairdressing, and what I realised is that I would break my back for like $300. I'm like, I'm not going to get anywhere by doing this. So I said, well, I'm really good with sales. I had that role. I was killing it. Maybe I'll go back into a sales role. But they weren't going to hire me if I said I'm a hairdresser. So I had to, be creative. And I got a role at this amazing company. It was a BDM role. And do you want to hear a funny story when I was getting interviewed?
Tell me.
Do you want to really know?
Yeah.
I'm like, can I even say this? This is going to
Go
get
for
me
it.
too
There's
many
no rules
tips.
here. No rules here.
I got interviewed at this company and I said that I worked at that telco company for 2 years when I was only there for 3 months. Mm-hmm. And the manager goes, I was a manager there. What? Luckily, I knew that there were 2 levels. And I said, what level were you on? And he said, 1 level. And I was like, I was on the other.
Yeah.
That's why I never saw you.
That was an objection handle and I got the role. So
Yeah.
I was in business BDM selling the product. Yeah. So then transitioning from a BDM role, I then happened to be in finance. So the managers from this company started their own in finance. So that's how I got into finance. And then in 2015 or 16, I turned my personal account, Rita Agoulian, to LickYourPhone overnight whilst I was working in finance. But then I realised like, hey, I really want to take that leap. So I threw a burger party, quit my job, and And then here we are today.
So what was the first few pieces of content on LickYourPhone?
And what actually made you switch that account? Was there something that you saw, you got inspired in regards to putting out food content? Was there an actual reason or was it just an intuition?
No, I saw it online. So I really enjoyed Instagram. I loved being on there. And I used to follow an account that just recommended places for breakfast. And I was like, well, I could do this, but why stop at breakfast? I don't just eat breakfast. I eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert, and then some. So we went overseas. My friends and I went overseas. We went to the Greek islands. If you haven't been, when COVID is over, book your trip. You will have the time of your
one-way
life.
ticket.
Mykonos,
Yeah.
if you
Crazy.
ever go, Elephant Man, just at the clubs. Anyway, so the food there is phenomenal. Greek food, makes me want to say yes. I don't know. A Greek food. It's really delicious. And so when I'd come back from overseas, I'm going, okay, I want to explore my own city.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it intrigued me to start. So then I saw that page and I said, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it started.
Amazing.
It was
I think already just sort of looking back at your career like that, there's a couple of pivotal things that showcase that you're actually a true entrepreneur. Like even that call with Telstra, like you just saying, hey, how'd you get your job? Like just being proactive about things. And then the objection handling thing, like just being able to think fast on the spot. I think there are a couple of traits that, from early on you've had, and obviously now you're carrying that into LickYourPhone, and you've grown it to what is it sitting at now? Over 2 million.
Okay, so there's 3 pillars under the LickYourPhone umbrella, so 3 different social media accounts. In total, it's a hungry audience of 2 million plus, and we did that from the ground up, organically.
Yeah,
massive.
From the ground up, literally.
Yeah.
So you started that in 2016.
Yeah, I'm getting confused between the dates, either 2015 or 2016. But I know the birth date that I gave birth to LickYourPhone. It was April 3rd.
That's epic. So what do you think was the real turning point? Like when did you realize that, wow, this is actually growing fast? Was it a post? Was it a moment? Or was
it was a belief within myself that I said, if I am working for someone else and I am making them a shit ton of money, why can't I do this, A, for myself, but do something that I genuinely love? So that's to answer your question.
But what about the growth of the actual platform? Was there a moment where it just started skyrocketing?
No.
It's just been gradual.
So what happened is that in 2018, we had an audience of 1.7 million followers.
Yeah.
And I was earning a big fat donut. Yeah. Now we had big brands, they are billion-dollar companies saying that they don't have budget. So education isn't just power, it's profit. So you really need to invest in education. It will provide the highest return on your investment. So even though I had quit my job, I thought that this business model, I was going to get into e-commerce, and I thought, this e-commerce business model is going to blow up. I did it. I failed miserably, and I realized, A, I hate it. You need so much money. People don't talk about how much bloody money you really need to get to where you want to be. It's, I would listen to podcasts. I would see all these ads like, this success story. I'm an overnight millionaire. Fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
What do you mean? And no one talks about how hard it really is behind the scenes. Yeah. So I invested in knowledge. I networked. I surrounded myself with like-minded business people, and I would ask questions. Do not ever be afraid to ask questions. I ask questions till today, and I will never stop, because that is free education.
Yeah, that's true. So true.
Overnight success takes 20 years, right?
And then some. And then, it's like death sentence. No one tells you how hard it is, especially when you're on your own. So when you've got a business partnership, that is great because you get to bounce off one another.
Yeah, it
when
has its
you're-
challenges as well.
Yeah,
It does.
I'm sure
But-
it does.
100%.
But there are a lot of business owners that don't have business partners, and who they bounce off is off the wall. Like they don't have someone to ask. So ask, learn. It will be your golden ticket to success. Education is really important.
I agree with that so much. Yeah.
That's how it helped me understand what business model should be created to make money, to live off an income that I genuinely love. So does that help answer your question?
That answers it
That's a
perfectly.
great answer. So back to the question that Jamie asked before. So you went through a transition of switching from a personal profile to a business profile, which was Lick Your Phone. How big was that account?
I had 600 friends that went, who the hell is Lick Your Phone? They thought it was things not related to food.
And what was that first step? Did you just cook something and posted a photo?
I just recommended the restaurant that I liked. So the first post it wasn't even my photo. It's the technical term is called user-generated content. So you repost other people's photos, but you must credit them. Actually, you have to technically ask them for permission to use that. I'm getting too technical. But yes,
that's good.
so user-generated content, I reposted someone else's photo. At the time, there was no videos. So that's why we posted a photo.
How did you actually come up with the name? Because I love the name.
Yeah, so clever.
It's attention grabbing. It's
it was
epic.
a conversation that I had, and a friend had said, I'm so hungry I could like eat my phone. And I'm like, oh my God, that's it. But who the hell's going to eat their phone? Lick your phone. I checked the account. It was available. No one had the name. And
Epic.
Bob's your uncle.
It's such a great name. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought of it myself. And
epic.
it happened literally in my bed. So on April 3rd, it was in my bed before I'm about to go to sleep. So dreams can come true, bitches.
That's true. That's true.
Love that.
Rita, what do you think's for anyone out there that's kind of got a side hustle at the moment, still working a job, what do you think's the key to actually turning that side hustle into something that you can throw yourself all in?
I'm going to probably give you the most simplest and best analogy. I'm going to paint a pretty picture for you.
Yeah.
Think of a car. You've got a car, you need to go from A to B. But that thing ain't going nowhere if it doesn't have petrol in it. So think of petrol as marketing. It's going to fuel your car to get you from A to B.
He uses that one. He uses that one.
Oh, I thought of it myself. What do you mean? How? When?
He's been listening in.
Oh, no way. So that's an analogy that I thought that I made up, but I paint pictures when people don't understand because verbally it's like...
Of course.
I'm a picture person. So yes, that marketing is going to fuel you. So the answer to help your question is that whatever business you are doing, you need to first and foremost understand where is your customer hanging out. Not you.
Your customer.
Not at the pub. That's not what I mean. I mean, where is your customer hanging out online? So if you're an accountant, don't, think, Instagram, I should do it because everyone's doing it. Instagram, so accountants, your ideal customer is hanging out on probably LinkedIn or maybe YouTube. So you must understand which platform, social media platform, is best utilized for you to advertise. So you really need to map out where is the customer hanging out. That's really important. Then you need to market your business. Now, a lot of people go, I need to spend money. Yes, you do. Yes. But why don't you start with your low-hanging fruit? Everyone forgets that they have friends, they have family. You've got an email, I'm sure that has heaps of contacts. Use that. Lick Your Phone didn't start off growing with ads. We started off because, remember, we were an infant startup business. So I used my low-hanging fruits. Start with who you know. Don't make it complicated. Just send out an offer. give them something of value that it goes, oh, maybe I should give them value, give them a reason to want to use your service, like an offer. That's usually a really great way or free information. And start with your own network.
That's great advice. Pretty much exactly how we started too. We were doing for the first few months, going to friends, hey, you got a business, let me work for you. I'm not going to charge you anything. Let me just work for you and show you what I can do. And all I ask in return is if we get you results, let me talk about it.
Awesome.
That was it.
Yeah.
And we got 2 or 3 results, that went to 4, 5, 6, 7. And all of a sudden we've got a bunch of case studies that we can then go out to people who don't know us and say, hey, look at what we've done.
Talking about case studies here. So another great way, and my brother is also a very successful businessman. I think it just runs in our blood. Yeah. We love business.
Yeah.
So my brother who owns Basha Order House, I'm going to give you an example of what I learnt from someone else that, as a marketing technique. So you have a business. Make sure that you're on Google My Business. It's for free. And ask people to leave you a Google review. That is also a free case study.
Absolutely.
And we ask everyone, the greatest gift is a referral. So please let your friends, family know. And that's how we also grow. And I learned that from my brother. But that is something that you can also learn now that you've heard this.
Absolutely.
That's super valuable.
Using past experiences to help you sell is like foolproof. It's going to work pretty much every time. So, that's great advice.
So I want to go back to the actual growth of the account,
okay,
right?
Yes.
So obviously you were able to leverage your sales skills. And I'm going to make the assumption here that at the very start, you were probably pitching yourself to restaurants. Would you DM restaurants and ask them whether or not you could actually go in and take photos of the food? How did it actually start?
Okay. So no, we do not DM restaurants whatsoever. We don't do outreach via DM.
Was that a reason why?
I personally don't like it. I always think, and you should think like this, how's the other person going to perceive this? A DM may not come across professional. I do want to come across professional. We don't do personally cold outreaches. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't. You should for sales. So you've got, how I understood your question is 2 segments. Is that right? So one, how we actually grew our following.
Yep.
Okay. And then how we got a business model that we can now live off.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Yeah, correct.
So we had content is king. That's how we grew our socials. So I'm a very visual person, and what I learned from, so the big guys like Lad Bible, Unilad, Insider, they reached out to us saying, hey, we like your content. And what I said was, no problem, I can give you more, but can I actually, get on the phone? I wanted them to train me. I was like, I want to learn what they know. So they would train me on the best hook. The hook is the cover photo, the thumbnail. That is going to, so the most important thing is you have to have a really compelling video. Video shits on any type of content. With the video though, the cover photo is the hook. So think of it like when you go fishing, you can have a fishing rod, but dude, if you have no hook, like you need the bait.
Anything.
Yeah, so it's the bait that catches attention. So you need to have the hook cover. That's really, really important because that shit stops the thumb from scrolling, okay? So that's how we grew, video. We used to post 6 times a day back then. Hell no, we are not going to do that now. What works is either twice a day, or you can still get somewhere by posting once a day. Consistency, to answer your question, it's consistency and persistency of loving what the hell I do, which is I love recommending restaurants. And the strategy for us is we recommend Sydney restaurants. So what the media publications in Australia aren't necessarily talking about, but they're still new and they're still awesome. So we're that sort of in between. We'll talk about what the media does, but we also talk about the hidden gems. In addition, we have viral videos. So whatever is trending on TikTok. So we look at TikTok to see what's trending. So why am I going to use the same platform? The content's already performing. I now use TikTok. So if I want to find a burger, I'll go I don't even need a hashtag in TikTok. I'll type in burger and I'm like, oh, this one's performed really well. So I will repost it onto Lick Your Phone on Instagram. So it's regurgitating, that's UGC, user generated content, but that's international. Because if I just did Sydney, I'm really not going to grow in this day and age. Maybe back then, but not now. So you really need viral content, videos, hook cover. That's a lot of info.
Yeah. When you review restaurants, right?
When you say review, what do you mean?
I mean, you do content marketing at a certain level, right? Would you go into restaurants now and take photos of their food? And what does that relationship look like? Like back to what I was asking, you guys obviously do not DM the restaurants and whatnot. Do you get in contact with the restaurant, or at a very practical level, you just actually book yourself in with, your staff or a bunch of friends and actually...
So we don't do any outreaches because we do naturally get inquiries. Okay. So the previous...
was that the case at the start?
No. Oh my gosh. That's a whole nother ball game in itself. Yeah. So I guess the problem that we needed the challenge, I don't like the word problem. The challenge that we had to overcome was we would get inquiries and say, hey, we would like you to come in and we want to post and your firstborn child and in return for food. I'm like, this ain't going to pay my mortgage. So I was like, then back to education. I learned how to overcome and build a response that guides them into a sale. So we would take them off DM. We'll get them to email. Step one is they've told me that they want free shit. I'm like, awesome stuff. I'll still help you, but let me tell you how. Yeah. No, they're not. Yeah. So that's it. But to answer, and the other part is we used to in the beginning say, yeah, sure, we'll come in return for content. Remember, it was based on fun. So it was, for me, in the beginning it was fun, but with the intention of how do I turn this into a business model? However, we don't really do that now because the waiting list, I think, is at 9 months for all these invites because there's only so much this body can eat. And also, if I now go to a restaurant, I would really just rather pay and support them and say, I support you. I'm going to recommend you. And look, hey, if you need anything, these are our details. Here it is. I'd rather support you, have my money. I enjoyed my meal. And I also don't want to work when I'm also it comes to a stage where there's only so much working you can do. I just want to eat, dude.
Yeah. Just enjoy your time.
Let a girl eat.
Have a meal. That's it. So what's evident and what's very clear is how passionate you are about what you do, which is amazing.
Does that really come across?
It does, believe me. What are some of so obviously, there's so many great things about what you do and so much passion and happiness. What are some of the things that people might not know about working in this industry? As in some of the darker sides to it.
Are you prepared to wake up at 3 a.m. and maybe finish at midnight? Are you prepared to have mental breakdowns? No one really understands how hard it truly is to run a business until you go out there and do it and see what the hell I am talking about. It is a jungle out there. And it's going to come back to, are you happy? Are you passionate? And why the hell are you really doing this? Because if it's just money,
it's only going to go so far.
Just drop out now, because you're not going to see a lot of money. If anything, you're going to lay out a lot of money first before you see $1 to your name.
Yeah, correct.
So it's not pinkies and rosies and la 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 midnight success. It's not.
But the passion you have is what gets you through that. The passion that you have, helps you get through those harder challenges and hurdles.
The passion?
Without it, there's no way.
Correct. It's your secret ingredient. It is the key ingredient to have a recipe for success. Do you like my puns? Yeah. They're all about food.
I read a quote once from, I think it was from Simon Sinek, and he talks about entrepreneurship, and he said entrepreneurship isn't about money, it's about impact. And the financial upside comes from how big of an impact you actually have on whether it's people's lives or whatever it might be. And in your case, you run Instagram accounts that have an upside of about 2 million followers, and you're actually impacting people's lives on a daily basis, them scrolling through, maybe bringing a smile to their faces or whatever it might be.
There's two parts to Lick Your Phone. So there's the consumer side, which is we show people where to have a good time and eat in Sydney. So when people, they literally DM us and go, hey, I'm looking for like a seafood restaurant. Where can I love the fact that I was able to help. Literally help them. And I get excited that they're also supporting a business because they came recommended. So Lick Your Phone recommends places to eat for you to have fun with your friends and family. That's the consumer side. So the B2C. The B2B side is we help businesses, hospitality businesses. I'll make it very clear. We specialize in hospitality only, and we help them with doing it for them. So we know the best practices. We know because we do it on a daily basis through Lick Your Phone, and we implement the best practices for our clients, and we do it for them instead of them trying to figure it out.
Amazing. I know you're a very busy woman and you've got some things to attend to after this. So we do have a section which is, we call it Rocket Fire Questions, but I did just have one more question before we get into that.
Yes.
So recently you were named one of the top 10 marketing agencies to watch in 2020 by Yahoo, which is epic. Yes. Congratulations on that. What's in the pipeline for Lick Your Phone?
Where do I begin? So I genuinely do want to grow, but not at the cost of quality. So quality at all times must maintain. I want to grow. I've got goals. I've got big goals. They are financially, I've got financial goals that I want to hit. But I also want to tap into another business model by tapping into education. So amazing. Passing on the knowledge. It's like passing on the recipe.
We might be able to help with that.
We'll chat offline.
So obviously you want to impact more people with your work and what you know, and really help them basically follow best practices, whether it's their restaurant or maybe they might even be looking to do something similar to you. Just sharing your knowledge with people, and that's the big sort of growth. For Lick Your Phone coming up.
I always ask myself, because I got asked this question, what is the legacy you're going to leave behind? What is the
wait, don't answer that yet.
Okay.
It's one of the questions. It's very similar. So wait, I want to hold it. I want to hold it for that.
So you want to kick it off this week?
Yeah, let's kick it off. All right, so get started with the first question. So if you could turn back time and change one thing in your journey, what would it be?
Nothing.
Amazing.
What's the first thing that you do when you wake up every morning?
I have a shower.
The first thing.
Other than getting out of my bed, the first thing I do. Oh, hang on, I do check my phone. Sorry, the alarm. The alarm wakes me up.
There it is. So we're just trying to have a great strike rate with that one because everyone said the same thing. Who are your 3 dream dinner guests, dead or alive, and why?
Oh, I really want to meet Janine, who owns Boost Juice. I would love to. I would love to meet her. She's so inspiring. Oh, who else? Bill Gates. Why not?
Yeah.
And then maybe his wife to find out why they're getting a divorce. What's the real reason?
Well, so he'd be like a mediator with some juice on the side.
Here's your juices.
Let's chat it out.
But can I say, is that the third? Can the second one be 2 together?
Yeah, I mean, you can add another one if you want. Go for it.
If it could be anyone, I would give up anything in the world to have the opportunity to see my grandmother again.
Amazing.
That
is actually
I
crazy.
would give up my lungs and my heart to do that, to see her. So that's, I love her.
Great answer. Love that.
What's the last new thing that you've tried? It could be a food. It could be a dish. It could be a sport. It could be anything.
I don't really do much other than work. Is this other than marketing? Because I'm always trying new
things. It could be anything.
The last new thing you learned, tried, whatever it is.
A squat? I don't know. I really don't exercise.
A squat. I love that.
All right, fair enough. We'll take that as the answer. If you could only recommend one book, what would it be?
Get a journal, write your own book.
Yeah.
I like that. I very much
Epic.
like that.
That's huge.
What?
Do you not journal? Do
No.
you journal? Let me tell you, it is one of the best things you can
could,
do.
You could benefit from that actually.
You just write whatever you're thinking, whatever it is.
Then it's not
And
in
then
your head.
you know what I do? In my journal, let's say I've got a question I want to ask myself, my higher self, my inner self, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
I sometimes connect with my higher self
Yeah.
from this book. And what I do is I go, I've got a question, and I'll flip a page. And I'm like, oh, there's the answer. It's so powerful. If you're not journaling,
Right.
try it.
Should definitely try.
Very powerful.
Jamie's got a
Man.
sauna.
Yeah, I use Asana. Asana's my
Not a workbook. This is your own personal, how you're feeling, your gratitude. I am grateful for, I am
okay.
powerful, I am successful. Like
I'm enough.
yes, affirmations. You need to be in touch with oneself.
Okay.
And journaling helps you do that.
All right. Good feedback.
What's the best advice that you've ever received?
My dad came to my mind, and I sort of don't agree with this, and I sort of do. But my dad always says, Bubby, never give up in life. Never give up. And
That's solid.
that is solid. I think how I would rephrase that is that never give up, but when you genuinely see it ain't going nowhere, it's okay to let go.
That's true. Very true.
So
This is the question that was going to kind of go into your legacy that
Yes.
you want to leave behind. So when you reach the pearly gates of heaven, what do you want God, him, her, or they to say to you when they greet you?
your grandmother's waiting for you. That's really what I would love them to hear.
Epic.
I would really, really, I would love
Talk
to
to
hear
us
that.
about this grandmother.
My grandmother is my baby. I love her. So I cry just thinking about
Yeah.
the love I have for her. So she had a stroke and she was basically bedridden, and I was the only one really able to look after her in the circumstances at the time. And I used to get, she hated the food, and I don't blame her, in the nursing home. And on every week I'd see her Sundays, and I'd go to the McDonald's and I would get a McDonald's and I would feed her. So I would feed her love, my love. I would feed my grandmother love. And then I would feel bad because she would have a room shared with other people. I'm like, oh my God, I can't just feed my grandmother. So I started to just get a little trolley, buy Macca's for the entire nursing home.
Yeah.
And I would go there and just feed people happiness. And do you understand, these old ladies, sometimes they weren't even old. They were just not able, they were not mobile. Is that the right word? Mobile,
Yeah.
mobile, whatever.
Yeah.
And that was pure love. That food was the connection for me to show my grandmother love, but also others. And that, no amount of money can take that away from me or replace that. I love feeding people. It is the highest joy for me. And that's what food
Amazing.
is. It's a
Just as
universal
question,
language.
Was this prior to launching LickYourPhone?
Feeding my grandmother? Yeah. Like I didn't get
Yeah.
LickYourPhone and said, oh,
No,
this
no,
would be
no.
a great content
I just
idea.
wanted-
Yeah.
No, 'cause
This would be great content.
It sounds like it's very clear that you love through food as well. And I just wanted to, like, even that kind of brought a level of context to this whole conversation.
Did.
Yes. So actions will always speak louder than words. I'll always tell my fiance, stop telling me, start showing me. So food is a way for me to show
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
Right.
And
It's a
I
love
love
language.
to love. I've got so much love to give, and I've got the whole world to give it to. And I do that through food.
Are you a great cook?
No, I suck. I can microwave. That I love to eat. Cooking, that's a whole different skill set.
Interesting.
I
Very
can
interesting.
burn things really well.
Wow, thanks for sharing that, by the way, Rita.
Yeah.
That was
so
epic.
much.
You got me where it hurt. You got me.
So what pushes you daily to be the best version of yourself?
I was asking Jamie this before we started the podcast. I'm like, why do you do what you do? I just fucking love this shit. I love it. I love it. I love it. And it really comes down to, as a child growing up, my father would always say, I'm working. He wasn't home a lot of the times because he was always working. So I just had this imprint, work. So both my brother and I are very much addicted to work, but we are both, I can finally say, we are both successful business people.
Yeah.
And that came down from when we were kids.
Yeah.
How do you find balance with your work?
I don't. I'm lying if I said I do. How do you find balance when you're waking up at 3 a.m.? Do you know how many alarms I have? Like, if I miss one.
Back to the suggestion that you made to Jamie in regards to journaling. Would you say that that's like a practice that you use to actually balance yourself out?
That's to help a lot with mental state of mind. Like, you really need to be clear. And doing it in the mornings when it's your brain isn't clouded. You know, you've got a fresh brain. Use it. So
is it something that you do daily?
I used to do it daily for a long time. I'll be honest, I've been slacking off because I'm like, I'm tired right now. I've woken up tired. But yes, I was very much religiously there. And you need to take a break. So I actually just go to the beach and I just drive by myself. I just loved it. Clovelly Beach is my thing. I just love to watch the waves clash and just get away. And you can journal there. Well, not Clovelly because that's my hood. I mean, you can go to another beach.
Journal together.
We've got Bondi taken as well.
Yeah, that's it.
Can I just say one more thing that's popped into my head?
Yeah.
I have an inspiration, and my inspiration is genuinely my brother. He is my inspiration, and I say that with my heart because he works so hard, and my God, he's achieved some amazing things. With your business inspiration, it doesn't have to be like a big celebrity. It could be someone that you know because, you know, they are and they can be your free mentor. That's super important, you know. Ask for a mentor.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's all. So yeah, inspiration really helps me. I'm like,
Who would you say is your biggest inspiration business-wise?
My dad. Has to be.
I knew you were going to
say that.
Has to
be, man.
Oh, really? So yeah, family.
Oh, of course.
Oh,
yeah.
Family is everything.
And also, like, I'm very close friends with Greg as well. Like, just having friends that are doing things as well and just bouncing off them is amazing, and supporting them. And, you know, we even work with Greg too, and it's just great, just growing together. Yeah. I think that's important too.
And when you don't know, you can actually ask. Like, it's like, hey, you know, I've got XYZ. What do you reckon I should do?
Yeah.
He still doesn't think that posting is actually a job, by the way. I'm like, you have no idea.
Turning that around. He's starting to talk about his content. He's starting to talk about his Insta feed. So.
He's recently started. Yeah. He's like, He's like, Rita, can you start doing some stuff? I'm like, look, we just do hospitality, but I'll see. Maybe I might
throw some bacon and eggs on the Lambo, like you said before, and that's it. Happy days.
We're up to the final question.
Final question, and that is, what does the word defiant mean to you?
Where's Google at? I don't know. Defiant. The first thing I would do is Google it. You know, English, even though I was born here, was not my first language. I don't, precise? Is that what it would define? Precise.
Defiant is like, so the actual definition. The actual definition is like, I guess, I don't know why I'm saying what the actual definition is. I've got no idea.
What is it?
It's just basically like breaking the mold, or like doing something differently to others, like being defiant. Like, there's a way of doing things. It's ABC, you know, doing it differently to what the book tells you to do.
Or outside of the box.
Outside the box, exactly.
I use that in my creative emails. We do creative outside of the box marketing. But yes, I didn't know, and maybe you might want to cut this out. I really didn't know what defiant meant. I would have just Googled, but Google's your best friend when you don't know something, especially in business. So, and it's okay not to know, guys.
100%.
Don't judge me.
Love that.
Rita,
it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming in. It was great to hear your story, your passion, how much you love what you do. It's just infectious.
The tapping, the tapping.
No, that's all right. No, it's just incredible to come across people who love what they do so much, and it just everything that you say, everything that you do, your actions, it just shows that. So I think, I can't wait to continue watching your growth and hopefully helping you as well along the way.
Yes. And, send me the email.
Yes,
with the options. With the options. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rita. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.